Hello, and welcome to the Ideal Forever Partner Magnet Podcast, the show where we explore the infinite benefits of creating the relationship of a lifetime, attracting our ideal forever partner like a magnet, and living our best life as the highest and best version of ourselves. I'm your host, Arell Holloway. I'm the results coach, fitness expert, former real estate investor, and founder of UTAIY, Unveiling the Angel in You, and the World Impact Compound Movement. This podcast is for overachievers and romantics that never learned the art of love relationships. That was me. Anyone wanting to improve their relationships and receiving and having, as well as giving unconditional love. And the biggest impact I can make in someone's life is to teach them how to manifest their ideal forever partner. So with this podcast, I'm dedicating to help souls around the world wake up to who you really are and what you really want in life, helping you on your path of learning about unconditional love by creating significant epic relationships that generate happy memories. Arell's golden nugget. If you were betrayed, then you wrote that into your story. You directed it, produced it, and acted opposite the person you cast in this role. Today's topic: what is your life story and why that depends on you creating your goals and dreams. We all run a life story at the core of our program. Our program is our daily activity that we strive to accomplish that is geared toward a certain goal that is input into our modus operandi or way of doing things by either ourselves or by someone dominant close to us that we have bent our will to. Is the life story you're running in your program designed to give you everything that you want, or was it designed by someone else with another agenda? What? Find out in today's episode about the life story you may be running every day that may not have your best interest at heart. Is it shocking to consider that our entire world revolves around someone else's agenda? What do I mean by that? Isn't this my end of life so-called biography? No. We are all running a life story in our program. If you were a planet and you were cut in half and saw the deepest core of your planet, then that is your story. Everything else is just layers of your world, other metals, layers of dirt, layers of a molten volcano, perhaps ice, pockets, layers of water, layers of gas, and so on. Everything in your world revolves around your story. Perhaps that is why we're often tempted to be self-centered and try to pull others into our orbit as well. Anyway, this story is running your life. Where did this story come from? It was either written by ourselves, a parent, or an influential family member, or by a trauma character in our life. A trauma character is someone who was involved in a traumatic experience in our past. Why is this important? Who wrote our life story core? Here's an example. A person confided in me that she was always told as a child that she was stupid. And if she did anything to embarrass the family, then everyone would know how stupid she was. Her core became, play along with everyone and everything, or everyone will know how stupid you are and you will be humiliated. After that, everything in her life was built and revolved around this life story core. Can you imagine the life this must have created for her inside the prison of a lie? Everything in our world revolving around our story that may have been written by someone else is a huge deal. It means that we may not be living our own lives. That possessive controlling parent or family member is so powerful and influential over our life that our entire world still revolves around their daily agenda. What are some signs that our life, that our entire world revolves around, could be someone else's agenda? Here's some clues. We feel conflicted with the direction our life is taking. We're frustrated with the path our life is on, but are not sure what the problem is nor what to do about it. We feel pulled into two directions. One direction tells us that we should and ought to be doing this. The other direction wants to pursue things not sanctioned by our current program. Our life is not giving us what we truly want, and anything we accomplish seems like someone else's desire. We're unhappy and cannot determine why, although our success may be significant. It doesn't matter if the success is significant if it's not of our true self-creation. Our creativity is caged. We don't feel like ourselves. We feel like we're living someone else's life. One of the reasons I'm creating these episodes is for posterity, meaning that this is difficult enough to learn something when the main vehicle of learning is controlling every area of our lives, including what we should hear and what we should block out. That may interfere with our current program. While we fight our way through this seeming mutiny, yet at the same time a freedom fight for our lives, having helpful and positive information may be your lifeline. These episodes make it possible to listen over and over until the master awakes within you and takes charge of its domain, itself. I've been through this invisible war, and I've come out of the other side as a victor to help you see that this is possible to live a happy, creative, and loving life exactly how you want it and design it. We are the stars of the play of our life story. We are the writer of the script. We are the lead role in our own story. We are the casting director who auditions the perfect cast to play the parts we have written in our play of our life story. We even direct everyone. We know the beginning of the story and we know the end. After all, we wrote the story. If we didn't write our own story, then we are accepting the story that was written for us, and we proceed as if it were our own story. So you see, when Mr. X or Miss X betrays us, they had to. That was their job. It was the role they were cast for by you, the casting director and writer of the story. It was the role they were cast for. Why would we write our own story just to be betrayed? We are in this life to learn about love and feelings. One explanation could be that you wanted to learn about being betrayed in love so you could understand not being betrayed in love and how that feels. A more likely reason is that you have a self-destructive component in your program, or one was written into your program in order for you to fail and prove something like, see, I'm a victim, or see, anything I do fails. Whatever that is will continue until you remove it. A client shared with me that her dominating mother programmed her to never trust men. In every one of her relationships, she drove the man to cheat on her and prove that her mother was right. This is what kept her mother's program strong in control of her life. She insisted on learning further why her mother would do this. We finally got clarity that her mother didn't want her to have more successful relationships than her mother was having. I wonder how many generations this program, GEM, was passed down from mother to daughter. You see, unless we stop the destruction cycle, we are destined to repeat it. I don't necessarily encourage people to go this far to find out why someone might have done what they did. It's not always helpful or productive. You see, I want to coach someone to match their program to their soul's dreams and goals. Anything else can be a distraction and not often valuable. Since my client insisted I help her find this, she asked me to share with as many people as I could. She didn't want anyone else to live with something like this, only to find out that part of their life was a lie and not their own because of someone else's that they trusted. Our role may be the shocked unbeliever that this happened. But the truth is, this betrayal had to happen. It was written in our play already. If someone cheats on you, then that takes a specific cheater to play the role, and that is who we hire in this instance. If someone cheats on us, then that takes a specific cheater to play that role, and that is who we hire in this instance. And of course, we're amply destroyed and traumatized by their action and play the victim. as if we didn't have anything to do with writing, playing, directing, and casting for this scene. After all, we need our characters to play their parts well in order for us to reach the conclusion of the end of our play's scene, which we already wrote, because it was based on our life story, which we already know the outcome of to the end of the play. How can we know the outcome already? Because we know that this is written in our program by either ourselves or our possessive controlling parent or family member. The only victim is the one that is written to be the victim. This doesn't mean the victim doesn't fully believe it is a victim, yet that still doesn't make it the truth. Is it possible to change this? Absolutely. Once someone realizes and wakes up to the truth that they are writing their own story, then, hey, you can write it any way you want to write it. A victim isn't inferior or the target for being preyed upon. A victim is simply a person that does not want or cannot at this moment in their mind take responsibility for writing their own story. When I was a victim and someone spoke like this, then I chose to let it hurt my feelings and hopefully guilt them into saying or recanting it and acknowledging that I was different and that indeed I am truly a victim that could not have had my life turn out any different other than it making me a victim, and it had to be someone else's fault. I know that this hurts some of you hearing it. When I heard it, I denied it. It hurt, but I recognized the truth in it, whether I could admit it or not. But it was worse being trapped as a victim. I much preferred someone help me out of this prison I surrounded myself with. Our life story core is the center of all that revolves around us and involves us. Of course, other lives overlay ours in a seeming endless connection. If this life story core is not the truth, then our life is revolving around something that is not truth. We don't have to be Gandhi to figure out that this would be a disaster and a tragedy and a waste of our own life. Correcting this course would seem like a brilliant strategy. So why are many people not course correcting? Comfort, status quo, and complacency can be dangerous foes. Their strategy is that most people don't want to change, especially when we reach a certain age, where we get set in our ways. I think there's another term for this, going quietly into the night, which is against human nature. The most desired thing in the universe is to learn about love and feelings. One of the hardest things in the universe is to take a human shape. We have created one of the hardest things in the universe to learn about the most desired thing in the universe, to learn about love and feelings, and yet we allow ourselves to be distracted by things, people, and places. No, it's not our nature to go quietly into the night. And eventually, we will speak our voice and stand and fight. Let's hope that when we do decide to do so, it's not too late. Usually at this time, I would go into the affirmation and declaration meditation, but that has its own time slot now on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I recently launched the 2024 Inner Peace Challenge, where you can learn how to create inner peace for yourself that will automatically share it out into the world, touching others. Consider rewarding yourself and accepting this challenge to add this integral part of leveling up to the highest and best version of you. It's free and will improve your life immensely. Take this epic journey with me at wicm.love. It's completely free and my gift to you. Thanks for sharing a part of your morning with me. I'm grateful that you did, and I hope that you are more self-aware and evolved since we started about 30 or so minutes ago. If you can shift in this short of a time, imagine what you can accomplish in a whole day, 1 month, or 1 year. In our affirmations and declarations meditation, that's now on Sundays, we used breathing techniques that enabled us to move through realms of past, future, and bring us back to the present and keep us in the present. Within the breathing techniques, you also were able to affect your blood flow and pressure, as well as your heartbeat at your own will. If you can affect your body's organ functions at your will, imagine what else you have the capability of doing with specific training. We are infinite beings with infinite possibilities. And that's the truth. Have a beautiful day and recall this experience throughout your day. And remember that you can influence your body and your mind's functions and change how you feel. You also learn to move through past, future, and present realms at will. You can also influence and change how you feel at any given time or moment. These are a lot of abilities that don't even scratch the surface of our human abilities. All it takes is taking charge of your abilities and emotions. Finally, our weekly Ideal Forever Partner Magnet newsletter is out that unveils secrets, tips, and hacks on attracting your ideal forever partner like a magnet. Get this weekly wealth of information in one place. Just go to theifpmagnet.com and you can sign up to get started on your weekly tips, tricks, and secrets to finding your ideal forever partner. Chat soon. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please rate, review, and subscribe to the Ideal Forever Partner Magnet podcast. Your support helps us reach more souls in search of their unconditional true love. Check us out everywhere podcasts. Remember, you have the power to create heaven on earth through unconditional love. This is your life, no one else's. Grasp the courage to strive for the highest and best version of you